Crete is an island of mountains, and although it rises in the middle of the Mediterranean, the high mountains this April were still snow-clad. As we travelled its winding mountain roads, all views were dusted with white. This is my first experience of a botanical tour. All of us were well accustomed to independent travel. Many had a deep knowledge of plants. The luxury of travelling with tour leaders who knew where to go for the most fascinating flora, who drove the winding roads, arranged all the logistics of the trip, was that it set us free to stand and stare, with no care greater than appreciating the glories of this remarkable island. As an artist, I use my camera as a notebook, recording the variety of flora in a place, the geology, geography, compositions that might work in my art, how light and shadow come together. To clamber over rocks and up mountainsides with only these elements to consider was real freedom. Some people were serious photographers, others just absorbed the beauty. But we were all unified in a love of place and plants, and Crete delivered with great generosity. Although many of the birds in Crete are the same as we know from Britain, others were exotic to us, and to find ourselves close neighbours to a pair of Scops owls in Spilly was hugely exciting. The brilliantly coloured but surprisingly invisible golden orioles also revealed themselves to the most adventurous amongst us. For the highest, roughest mountain road, we travelled in local transport to the snow line, where crocuses and scillas emerged from the ground within hours of snowmelt. It was great fun to tramp through snowdrifts on a sunny day with such treats to discover, but the challenges for life in this terrain can be judged from the ancient trees. Hard to know how old they are, but surely more than 1,000 years, each sculpted into extravagant forms. The whole trip was a journey up and down mountains. At sea level the water was a shifting mix of blues, a perfect backdrop for the yellows and chartreuse of phlomis and euphorbia. Native palms grow amongst the sand dunes, which were filled with their own mix of flowering plants. Among the white limestone mountains, white flowers emerged. Tulipa cretica, Cyclamen cretica, Peony clusii, and the white suffused with cool yellow of Arum cretica, all with a backdrop of the snow-clad mountains and soft white clouds in the blue sky. Many of our group were orchid enthusiasts, and Crete is the place to come, with whole mountainsides filled with them, and every walk a new hunting ground.
Well, that's a nice one just back there. It's a lovely colour that, isn't it? See them there coming up, look, the quadripunctator coming up. So.
We last came to the plateau of Omelos, with a drive up through orange and lemon groves full of flower and fruit. This high plateau in the White Mountains had fields so full of tulips, anemones and widow iris that it was hard to place one's feet. Outside the fences, sheep and goats wandered freely, the goats topiarising trees. Crete is spoken of in awe as a place of beauty, and it is. And now, in my studio, I am considering how to translate this experience into art. My thanks to Ian, Fiona and Amanda of Green Tours for sharing their knowledge and enthusiasm.
I don't know. Oh, we'll have to pull her out.
Timer.
You going in, maybe, Brian?